Wow. Okay. Bum. Okay, the place is open. Okay. Storm just got out of Northside, so we're gonna get some beer. Yeah, I was gonna wait until Monday, until President's Day, but I haven't had a drink since what was it? Tuesday night. Okay, we got activity picking up. Yeah, so I realized it's clear, and then people are going out. So that's why I guess this liquor store went out of business. All right. It's getting crazy because the traffic's gearing up because the storms are gone. So it started to ramp up. Let's hurry up before everybody figures it out. Yeah, here we go. All right. Oh, wow. Amazing work. Hey, how's it going?
Yes.
Oh. Still have a reserve at the reserve. I see.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir.
You need ticket?
Oh, no, I'm going to do it on President's Day.
Okay, 1166.
Okay, maybe I'll get some presidential luck. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great one.
Hi there.
All right. All right. Got the brewski. And we correctly got our ass into gear before everybody figured out that the storm was gone. So whoa. Beer retrieved. Yeah, and then as you could see, the convenience store was getting busy. Because then people were like, the storm is gone. We still have power. Let's party. Yeah, or get cigarettes or whatever. People are definitely not excited to pay for overpriced food. But the beer and the cigarettes, that's still overpriced, but it's still in demand though. Go ahead and hold the bottom of this. Beer, 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 beer. Mission Pimp Possible, right over here. Pimp Possible. Oh, I should make a fake trailer of that. AI slot. Oh, I already did Midget Impossible. Start on my shit. Dang, I'm gonna get these boys up. Dear, 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 dear. Oh, don't drop the broody. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Okay, it's all good, y'all. I love y'all. I just got some beer. I know that's not for y'all, but ooh, all right. Woo. Beer, 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 beer. Dun, dun, dun. Beer, beer, beer. Ooh. Oh yeah. Beer, 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 beer. Yeah. Do. Hey, two lady. I love you, two lady. Hey, two lady. Yeah, don't worry, two. Two lady here. Two. Twos. Okay, two lady. I'll put you down. Do. Beer, beer, beer. Beer, beer. Go ahead, retouch. Beer, beer. Mission pimp, mission pimp possible. That'd be my mission for sure. Hell yeah! So they finally got the reservers in. They're running out again. Did y'all like my joke? I'm glad you still have fine reserves of the reserve. Or glad I made reservations. That's the one I should have said. Not like anybody would have gave a shit, but you know. Oh, this is in case the power goes out. I freeze the jugs. I love 2 jugs, especially big ones. Got to get the beer ready. Get the beer ready. Get the beer. All right, so we've been freezing the drink vessels. So Das Boot is up tonight. First on the bullpen, cardiologist. Oh, I say cardiologist. What if you just ate broccoli all the time? Like for like 10 years? Would you live forever? Or would you, well, you'd probably face a protein. It would have to be a diet of balance. Yeah. So this is, okay, what if you had, steak and broccoli and that's it? 10 years. Would you live a long time? Get this like It's all right, baby. I love you, honey bear. You're quite a beauty. Yeah, I know. You are a beauty, baby. You're my favorite. Yeah, ooh. I love you, Dula. You look like Gizmo from the Mogwai. Are they going to actually make that Gremlins 3? Better do it before Zach Galligan gets too old. Yeah. Phoebe Cates, will Kevin Kline let his little bunny out of the pen for a while? Ooh. Upgrade to Windows 11? Hell no, dog. Upgrade to Windows 11? I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave. The classic Kubrick? Yeah. Hey, girl. I love you. It's all right. Just go lay down on the lay pad, okay? All right. Oh, right. These beads, they impede. The beads impede. Beads impede. Smoke some weed. We got the foamy beer in the boot from the Tom's Balls German Festival. Yes, indeed. All right. The Mardi Gras Galveston had quite a squall come through. Hope everybody's all right. Oh, is this gonna be a problem too? Yeah, unfortunately I can't, unless I had a straw. I don't want to mess up my mom's Mardi Gras shit. Have my mom's Mardi Gras shit smell like beer. Oh yeah. Feel those hops and malts and barleys and barley, malt, yeast, dextrose. Dextrose, maltose, yeast, hop, barley, water, corn syrup. Oh, well. Isn't exactly a health drink, I guess. But that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. The Lenny Kilmister. The ace of spades. The ace of spades. That's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. The ace of spades. Yeah, that was a great album. Did I listen to all the Motorhead albums? Yeah, I think I did. I want to say I did. Was there 3 or 4 albums or something? Or maybe there's a lot more, but listen to a lot of them. But that's a classic, right? The ace of spades. The ace of spades. Yeah, the ace of spades. I break all the rules. Gambling's for fools. That's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. Yeah, that's a pretty bold hard rock statement right there. Yeah, because you got all the people that are like, oh my God, I want to live a long time. Oh God, I gotta watch my color, I gotta watch my fat, and my trends, and my... Yeah, I used to think, that guy who made up the fake country character, he came up with Wheeler Walker Jr. I thought that was, what, was that in the late 2000s, early 2010s? Wheeler Walker Jr.? Yeah. All my friends and everybody was laughing at it. This guy that was doing comedy music. And, yeah, comedy music is still going strong. Yeah, occasionally somebody comes along that wants to try to be the neo Frank Zappa, try to carve out a niche in music comedy, and especially with everything, streaming and social media and now AI, it's like, I guess there's more opportunity for comedy musicians. But I think it was Wheeler Walker Jr. I hadn't thought about, comedy music for a while. That was, intentionally comedy music, like a guy that was parodying music genres, like somebody who was, I guess Frank Zappa was doing a parody of 1960s psychedelic rockers, I guess, or doing a parody of Society, and so. One of his albums or big questions or DVDs was, does humor belong in music? Well, why not? Yeah, humor belongs in music. But, like Bush said, there's no sex and violence. There's no sex and violence. So humor belongs in music, but violence doesn't belong in sex, or there's no sex and violence. Yeah. Trusty wants my wine. Everything's in, everything's in. I don't think so. That was pretty good shit. Gavin Rossdale and The Bush. The Bush. So Rick Beato might say, what killed rock and roll? Hello, Abraham Garcia. What killed rock and roll? Was it rap? Was it hip hop? Was it pop? You know, maybe it was lame rock and rollers that killed rock and roll. That's something that I don't hear often people say. So did rock and rollers kill rock and roll? Or the easiest thing you could say killed rock and roll was just technology. Or you could say rap or hip hop. But rap, hip hop, and pop. Sampling, auto-tune. But I was thinking about it, you know? What really killed it? I was thinking about an artist that still endures to this day. That was from the late 1990s, early 2000s. That was really big. And they're kind of rock and roll-ish. I was thinking about a band that's really lame, but they had a few hits. A band that's lamer than fuck. A musician that's lamer than fuck, called Chris Martin from Coldplay. And I was thinking to myself, maybe it was groups like Coldplay that killed rock and roll. Maybe it was post-grunge or nu metal. Maybe it was technology. Maybe it was streaming or digital auto-tune voice. Maybe it was social media. Maybe it was record companies consolidating their power and buying musicians' catalogs, and maybe it was a no musicians land. So it wasn't an environment that was favorable to musicians anymore, or people wanting to explore that field of music. So let's get down to Bizzler. Taylor 23. Yeah, we're gonna get down to Bizzler. Yeah, we don't have any liquor tonight, so we just have a Beersler. On President's Day, we'll do a presidents. Yeah. Get down to Bizzler tonight. Okay, hold on. I have to get Bella down. Okay, Bella, you coming down? All right, babe. Come on down, baby. What's up, man? We're gonna play. Go there. I'll play toys and whatever. Oh, let me know you guys. Getting down to Bizzler, oh. Oh. Getting down to Bizzler, oh. Getting down to Bizzler. Did they close down all the Sizzlers? Oh. Hopefully they didn't close down all the Rizzlers. Ah! The Rizzlers? Yeah. Mardi Gras. Or the lack of bras. It's Mardi Gras. Looking at those milk supplements out there. Oh. This is the foam. The foamage. We got Valentine's Day and Mardi Gras going on at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, Bella's almost 16 years old, our Shih Tzu. There's her with her Binky, her baby back in the day. That's her when she was a little puppy, little baby. Now she's real old, almost 16 years later. And she's kind of going blind, and she kind of wanders around and is like, and she doesn't really know what's going on. Yeah. So sadly, yeah. I mean, she has a growth on her, and we don't know if it's cancerous or not. But it keeps growing and growing and growing. So I don't know how long Bella's gonna hold out. So oh yeah, two ladies, 1 year old, and she's fine. Yeah. So. Two ladies should have a full Shih Tzu life ahead. Hopefully another 15 or so years. So two lady is great. We're just worried about Bella because she's at the end of her Shih Tzu life expectancy. So it's sad that dogs' lives are so short. So you only get to enjoy them, 15, 20, 25 years at a time. Yeah. It's too short for, it's not enough time to get to know. Well, Tula can't speak yet English. So, but Bella was the only dog I know that could actually do some English. So, ma. And so we got it on, I got it on my phone, I got it on my files. And I got it on my on one of my shorts on here. She's like, ma, 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 ma. And so Bella can speak, kind of speak a little English, so at least she knows ma, ma, ma. I think daddy is too hard for a dog to go daddy. That's a little bit too, syntactually problematic for a dog who doesn't have the human machinery to process that complex of a word, But just going ma, 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 ma. They can do that. Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, they can do that. Oh, mom, mom, mom. They can do that just fine. But for some reason, they struggle with other things. It's like, if you remember, so they say that canines only have about a 4-year-old's knowledge, of brain development. And so they say, if you remember back to our development as kids, if you remember any of that, we're like, we struggle with certain words at first. And even though I was accelerated because I got the alphabet and reading comprehension faster than the other kids, like sort of like, almost a savant, really. And even though I still struggled at first, just like any other kid does with the English, with the word, learning the words. So my Aunt Julie was called Juju. I said, Juju, Juju. And I couldn't say crystal when I was too young. I didn't know how to say crystal. So I called her Dodo, because that was a lot easier to call people Bobo and Jojo and Tutu. And it was a lot easier in a toddler brain or a baby brain to speak gibberish, because that's the easiest to identify things. Until you learn the ins and outs of the English language, not just from your own people in life speaking it, but also from school, where they formally train you to understand the language. And so how to do that, learn the alphabet, and then you learn, to do sentence structure and order and grammar and all that. So like, so a dog trying to learn English is a lot slower. A canine trying to learn English, it's like, but when they want something bad enough, so my mom would have chips or popcorn, or she would have treats or chicken or whatever it was, and Bella would she would beg so much that she wouldn't just growl. She'd go, ma, 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 ma. She would actually do that, and that seems like a word. She's just trying to, she knows that mama is called mama, and so she's able to articulate that somehow, either, through probably a lot of struggle in the canine brain to be able to produce that. But happy Valentimes, canines. Yeah, would I have enjoyed a career in that? I had a friend that was like in kennels, in dog kennels, or went to veterinary school. I don't know, it doesn't seem very glamorous. Probably have to see a lot of nasty things. So, but maybe it's rewarding on a different kind of level, veterinary, working with animals. Maybe it's rewarding on a different kind of level besides sickness and cancer and PP and all the disgusting shit that goes along with it. No, it really goes like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Or at least that's what they would teach you in choir class. Scales, right? Yeah, scales.
don't know all the scales. I don't know pentatonic, minor and major scales, but mixolydian, Ionian, Phrygidian. Yeah, not too well versed in those. Getting things a little bit more complex, like Rick Beato. That's to like study music theory and go deep into the Beato book. So what? There's the college. There's the Denton School of Music. It's in North Texas, and that's where like Don Henley of the Eagles went to, right? And then did he go to Berklee College of Music too, where my mom's cousin Mike Wheeler, the jazz guitarist, goes to, or I mean he went to. So I don't know. Those are the two like major music schools are the Berklee College of Music in Boston and Denton in Texas. That's where it produces a lot of famous students, at least in the in non-Europe, in in America. I mean. So you learn like some training if you're rusty, if you're not very know much about music, but you're kind of talented, but you don't know a lot about music. A lot of people go there. They pay the money to go to these places, these institutions, to try to, or you could try to grind it out. So that's another option, is that musicians can just play all the time, practice, and just try to grind it and just try to learn, from the grind. So you can learn from the grind, but even though the grind's a lot harder because you don't even know where to go. So it's like, music has structure, even though it seems structureless. It's like, so I guess that's the kind of issue with it, is that music seems structureless, but it has a structure. So I guess the question is, if you knew more about music theory and the music structure and how music operates, would you be a more efficient songwriter, or would it just hold back creativity because now you'd be constrained by certain ideas? I guess is like polluted by ideas, right? To me, I think it would be a nice progression, to use a musical term. I think you don't have to be a slave to any kind of idea to, The painter doesn't really have to think about what the colors are. The painter just uses the colors. The writer doesn't really have to. The writer has to worry about what the words are and what the words mean and the structure of the story, but they never have to question what it is. Like they never have to, on an existential level, question like, what is this? Where does this come from? I think that's the difference between like a writer and a painter and a musician, is that a musician has to question like what's the best way. So should I learn sheet music? Should I not? Should I learn music theory? Should I not? Should I just do my own thing? Or should I go to a formal school? Or should I work real hard to go to a formal school? Should I raw dog it? Should I chop up? What's the deal there? Yeah. Well, Grandma's surviving. Grandma's surviving her episode of body fluid or whatever happened. So Grandma is, Boomer will live. No, like the guy with the glasses. Either when the dog escapes the explosions in Independence Day, he goes, Boomer will live. So Grandma will live. Yay! I don't want to speak too soon for people that are 86 years old. I don't want to definitely say like, hey, that guy's going to live. And then, some shit happened. I don't know. It's like this idea that if you had strokes and heart attacks and this idea that you're going to get exponentially better, that's just not how reality works. So the problem is that if you had all these other problems, it's just going to lead to other problems, and the problems are going to lead to other problems. So it's going to be a cascade, an avalanche of problems. And so, yeah, you can get better. You can get the medication. You can do the, whatever. But eventually, old people are going to shit their pants. Old people are going to fall downstairs. Yeah. Eventually, old people are going to crap their ass. That's just reality of nature. There's one day, okay, when we're little babies, we crap our ass. And then one day when we're like 87, if we make it that far, or 78, we're going to crap our pants again. So that's just, it's doo-dooville. Eventually, just pooping. And unfortunately, that's where my grandma and my grandpa are at. So, crap in the pants. Just avalanches of shit. That's the end. But the end is not just poo-poo and pee-pee, is it? No, the end of life is also what? It could be dementia, Alzheimer's. It could also mean a mental decline. So you could be walking into a room and then question why you're in there or what's going on. And so that's dementia. That's Alzheimer's also. Yeah, those are the other fun things that await the elderly. Why am I here, but not in an existential, spiritual, philosophical sense, but in a in a Joe Biden sense? Like, I have dementia. I have serious Alzheimer's. Degenerative. Oh, shit. My brother just came in. Who is that guy? Who am I? I don't know. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, that's the bad one. Happy birthday, Nin 183. No, wait. Happy birthday. Hey, it's my aunt's birthday. She turned 61 today. Highway 61 revisited. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you and many more from Channel 4. Oh, hello, Sam. Happy birthday. You have a Valentimes birthday, just like my aunt does. Nice to meet you, Sam. And what do you fear the most? Is it oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. Happy birthday on February, early birthday. Yeah. So the use, what do y'all fear the most? Is that they're going to take away social media, that the government is going to take away social media from the children below age 16. That's probably freaking the kids out, because it used to be kids used to get their social media from mommy and daddy, and they'd create their own accounts and pretend to be big boys and girls, and then the big bad government's going to come in and take it all away, just like Australia. There's no social media for children under 16. When the internet used to be like the big bad wild wild west, and now they're just kind of trying to control it more and more and more and more. That's so sad. Now, do I believe that children should be able to access social media? Sing you happy birthday for February 17th. Happy birthday. Now wait, what's the chord for it? Is it just a C, G, and a D? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Sam. Happy birthday. It's time to jam. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. No, wait, it's like, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Sam. Happy birthday to you. Many more to you. From Channel 4 on YouTube. Okay, do me the chord sequence for it. Happy birthday to you. I know that wasn't the actual song, but ooh. I'm gonna drink my brew. Happy birthday to you. Happy Earth Day, April 22. So they said they have different kinds of. Okay, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Sam. Happy birthday to you. No, wait. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sam. Happy birthday to you. Happy 8th birthday. So is the theory that if the lawmakers make social media only accessible on all devices and platforms to children over the age of 16. So what does that mean? Will the parents say, man, fuck corporate, fuck, screw Washington. And what are they going to do? They're just going to say, Amazing Grace. Yeah. Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound. God shed his life for me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Amazing Grace. It goes like that, right? Hold on, did I forget a lyric? It was saved a wretch like me. I thought it was really powerful in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, that they sing Amazing Grace at people's funerals. I think it's a really uplifting song. Yeah, I think it's really uplifting. I don't hate it. I don't hate old hymnals and gospels or anything. So not like anti-God, anti-Christ, anti-religion. So I think it's fine. Of course, music is very much spiritual in nature, no matter who's using it, you know. So, what the spirit is whoever's using the spirit. It's like magic. So, um, and there's evil wizards and there's good wizards, and so there's bad prophets and there's good prophets. There's all that. So. Yeah, I know Amazing Grace. I don't know how to play it. I know of it quite a bit. So, like, oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. Yeah, so Ringo Starr of the Beatles, he said, one of the first guys he played in a band with, all he knew was when the saints go marching in. And then Ringo Starr said, well, I didn't think I was going to have much of a music career if I just kept on playing When the Saints Go Marching In. And that was funny. Yeah. I figure music is just like any vocabulary. You have to become versed with the vocabulary to really get deeper into it. So if you want to be really good at Japanese, you have to learn kanji, hiragana, and katakana. So if you want to be good at Chinese, then you have to learn Han Mandarin, Han Chinese. So, yeah, that gets people. Yeah, it's a tonal language. Yeah, that's why it's hard. That's why it's kind of interesting, I think. It has symbols, it has tonalities. That's why it's like very interesting. It's very complex, right? So it's like, if it's one of the most difficult languages, that's what makes it so interesting. Because that's why so many people take upon the challenge, because the challenge is the thing. Men just love challenges, Men just love it. Men love challenges because men just love challenges. Men just naturally like challenges. Men love adventures and challenges. Men like trials, like Hercules, climbing Mount Everest, going to the moon, going to Mars. Men just love it. They just love it when they say, you can't do that. And a man's just like, oh, yeah? Really? Really? Seriously? Besides a man's love of challenge, but also the other part of it is not just a call to adventure, but like Dr. Jordan Peterson would say, take the bloody adventure, go on the adventure. Yeah, you never know how far it could take you. But besides that, it's fun to solve puzzles. So that's why it's so fantastic. Whatever the challenge is, on the other level, necessity is the mother of invention, like the Frank Zappa band, the Mothers of Invention. So necessity is the mother of invention. What that means is that all in the world is going to hell, and it's up to us to solve the problem, whatever that is. And so that's why necessity is the mother of invention, because if you have trouble hunting the buffalo, then you need to devise a system to hunt the buffalo. So you have to be able to craft the tools you need to hunt the buffalo. So you have to create the bow and arrow to stop the buffalo, so you can eat it and use its hide to survive, and its skins and its meat and its protein and its life-giving properties. So that's why they say the necessity is the mother of invention, people couldn't move shit around, unless they, I don't know, put stuff on pack animals, oxen and donkeys and horses and camels and shit. But it was kind of inefficient. So like the wheelers of my ancient heritage, they had to invent the wheel so they could transport goods because because necessity was the mother of invention. Necessity is always the mother of invention. So all human inventions are not just pure desire. A lot of human inventions are born out of necessity, because necessity is the mother of invention. So some human inventions are born out of passion, and they're born out of, desire and things and emotional things. But most of it is based on necessity and logic. So yeah. Like Sir Ian McKellen from the X-Men 2000, 26 years ago. What are you going to do when they pass that foolish law? What are you going to do when they start to mark all the X-Men as dangers of the state? What are you going to do when they pass those foolish laws? So what are children going to do when they want internet freedom? Well, I guess their parents can cheat, try to buck the system, give computer access to their children. They'll just cheat, right? It's easy to cheat. So how did I know that children would cheat? Social media systems. No matter what the rules were, because parents will give them access. Period. It's like if the government makes a rule that children can't see Playboy, then the fathers will just give Playboys to his children. Because he'll say, fuck you, the children need to know about sex and sexual things. Because they need to know about how their body works and their hormonal changes and their puberty and all that stuff. So anyways, most children, they get their puberty at like, 11, 12, 13, something around there. I guess it's like 11 to 13 is most children's puberty. So what they're going to do is most parents are going to be like, you know what? I need my children to know about sex and the reality of sex. So they're going to give their children access to the pornography and access to the nude images and stuff like that. And then the government's going to be like, you can't expose your children to the internet or to social media until they develop until age 16. And the parents are going to be like, no, that's not good with me. Okay, so they're going to fucking cheat. So parents are going to cheat to the detriment of their own children, you see. Because parents are going to say, hey, you know what? We had the free internet, that free butt nakedness and free pornography, and we turned out okay, I guess. Right? So they're going to say, like, we're going to defy the corporations. We're going to defy the man. We're going to defy the government. Or they're going to say, we're not going to go along with this no social media until 16 thing. We're going to defy the system. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's... They could say, you know what, I think social media, I think internet access is bad for brain development. Most parents out there might say, you know what, I support that. I support that bill. But will every parent and every child accept that? I don't think so. So I'm not saying it's like Utah is trying to ban alcohol. I think it has a good reason why people are banning social media and internet from children until they are, and devices until they're of age, 15, 16, like a car. Give them more adult responsibilities when they're prepared for it. But will people just cheat like prohibition with alcohol? Will they just say, screw the system, screw the man, screw the order? Well, that's also another possibility on the other side of the coin. We'll see. They've already instituted no social media for children until 16 in Australia, so we'll see how that's working out. But they did in Australia ban guns, and Islamic terrorists are still gunning people down. So we'll see how that whole, I don't know, taking away stuff works for people. Do I agree with social media bans for children below 16? I do agree. I don't think 4-year-olds should see me drinking a beer. It might be fine if I'm playing music or talking about an important topic, maybe playing a game, maybe that's okay. I don't think that children should see me smoke a cigarette. You know, I don't think that should be good. Yeah. I don't think children should hear me say a curse word. I really don't. And sure, adults are going to say curse words anyways because it's life. You know, shit's going to happen, right? Like, Uncle Lou's going to get fucked up and fucking, you know, fight me or something. So shit's going to happen. Somebody's going to rob my car. Something in real life's going to happen. And I'm going to say, fuck. I mean, it's going to happen. Some shit's going to go down. Somebody's not going to behave themselves. And, you know, it might not be as dramatic as you getting stabbed 8 times or shot 40 times. But it's going to, some shit's not going to work out right with people. And that's just the reality. Somebody's going to embezzle the money. Somebody's going to try to steal your shit. It's just inevitable with human beings. Somebody's going to do something corrupt. And so is that somebody's going to fuck it up, like in the Bible, like in the Garden of Eden. Somebody's going to try to steal the tree of knowledge and doom humanity to hell. That's just going to happen. And it's going to happen whether we like it or not. And but the question is it detrimental to everyone's brain, social media, and tech dependence? Is this detrimental to the health of children? Yes, they should ban social media, TikTok, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all of it should be banned from all children until they reach the age to drive a car, which is 16. Yes, and yes, and yes. And most people, even with or without children, know that that is true, that it impedes critical thinking, brain skills that you increasingly need to fight a world that's not on your side, that's ripping you off, and is increasingly being controlled by an AI, satanic, faggoty system we're going to need really, really smart people to overcome a satanic, gay satanic, as Andrew Tate would say, a gay satanic fucking Luciferian robotic system of fucking slavery. To do that, we'll need children off it. To fight it, you'd have to be off heroin to get off drugs. So you'd have to be off technology to fight Satan and the slavery of technology as well. So not everybody has a brain like mine. Not everybody has an absorbed brain, a sponge that just builds upon itself, its knowledge. Not everybody has a brain like a savant, a photographic eidetic memory savant. Nobody usually has the power that I do with my human brain to absorb all the information and to sift it out through time and to see it all for what it is. Not many people have that ability naturally to sift through all the data, all the information, all the tech, and be able to interpret it all without any problems. Most people can't do what I can do. They can't see time. They can't feel spirit. They can't rationalize emotion. They can't do those things because they just can't. They're limited by their particular skills and talents and abilities. But I'm not. I never was. The real truth is that society held me back, not vice versa. So, most people don't see with their mind's eye. I can. I've always been able to do that. That's easy. That's easy for our kind, the savants. For us Rain Men, for us X-Men and women, we could do this all day. Like Captain America, I could do this all day. It's easy for us. It's not easy for everybody else to see with their mind's eye, but we can. You need to come up here, man? You come on the bed. Don't worry, the who is over here. Don't worry, too, that's happening, okay? I love you. Got the mason jar brew. Gotta go drain our wizard. We'll be back after these important messages from Jesus. So how did I become an eidetic photographic memory savant? Are you just like Lady Gaga, born this way? Yes. I'm just born this way, ready or not. I was born this way. Is it like Lady Gaga? Lady Gaga. Do I like that song, I Was Born This Way? I kind of like it. It's very bold, you know? Yeah. Maybe I think female singers do a bunch of pop crap, but I was born this way, ready or not. Oh, I got the spot. I was born this way. Yeah, I thought that was it's pretty good, you know, for pop music. I'm not the biggest fan. Maybe I'd rather listen to Lemmy Kilmister, the Ace of Spades, but the Lady Gaga shit, you gotta admit, some of the tracks ain't bad. From a musician's perspective. Let's be honest. Yeah. So how do humans form? Is it nature versus nurture? The ultimate question of how humans develop. Not all wanderers are lost. Not all trauma is equal. So the theory is that childhood trauma, will cause damage that is beyond repair when a child becomes an adult and they'll be fucked up forever. I had my share of childhood trauma, but my memory is still developed. My memory is still savant, still intact. It always has been. So is the memory structure the high memory is a default setting, right, to childhood trauma. Or was I born a savant anyway, and I was destined to do something anyway? So were we born in our destiny, or does life shape our destiny? I guess that's nature versus nurture. That's what psychologists and doctors and psychiatrists and biologists and evolutionary biologists have been debating. Maybe it's all the above. Hello? Maybe it's all the above. Nature versus nurture. So how did I become a savant? Was it because I was abused as a child? No, I was probably just born that way. Probably getting abused as a child probably just fucked it up. Probably just hurt evolutionary milestones I otherwise would have reached. So I think it's not something that triggered memory retention. I think it's something that stunted artistic and mental abilities, I think. So I think childhood trauma fucks up. It impedes. I don't think it reinforces. I don't believe in negative reinforcement, in other words. Hello. I know we watch a lot of comic book movies where there's accidents or there's lots of childhood trauma like Batman and Superman and so on. They have negative loss when they're born and they grow up to be powerful, really intelligent heroes. And that's in comic books, that's in legend. But does that really translate into reality, however? I don't know if it. I guess it could. I guess negative dark experience could create light experience, but most of the time I think negative creates more negatives. But I could be wrong because I don't know how complex. Because this is a very complex nature versus nurture. This is a complex science and evolutionary biological issue. This is a psychological issue. I'd have to be a lot smarter than I am now to be able to address the complexities of human beings. Is it time for a Valentine's Day by David Bowie? Let's do that. I like how it's like the abandoned building. Oh shit! I actually turned this on. Let's see if somebody. I'll say we're back. Love all. Listen. Valentine's only proves to go. Feelings he's treasured most of all. The teachers and the football stars. It's in its tiny hands. Tony turns. Time told them all. Nothing to say. It's Valentine's Day. Turn your music down. He's got something to say. It's Valentine's Day. Valentine's told me how he feels. If all the world were under his heels, or stumbling through the mud, The Valentine? Yeah, I always like that David Bowie from what's the album? It's called it's gonna play. Yeah. It's called The Last Day. Why is the David Bowie album called The Last Day? Because on the last day, Jesus Christ was resurrected. That's why the album's called The Last Day. I'm no biblical scholar, but that's why I think David Bowie's album is called The Last Day. No, I'm sorry. It's not called The Last Day. It's called The Next Day. My bad. It's called The Next Day. Oops, my bad. And the next day, and the next day. Well, that's also a biblical allusion. You said that vaporwave shit? Hey, what's up? Look, time for the brew. The Brew Crew. I feel for you. Shit's good, man. Kind of sounds like Prince, like a lot of 1980 shit. Sounds like Prince shit. We're drinking the 8.1% alcohol by volume. High gravity lager, still reserve, slow brewed, for exceptionally smooth flavor, 211. 40 fluid ounces. Yeah, we're doing 40s. Slips malt liquor, nigga. Malt liquor. Yeah, I guess it's malt liquor. Did you say that? Did they stop saying malt liquor because they thought it was real ghetto? That only ghetto people do? Extra malted barley and select hops for extra gravity. Still reserve a slow brew for exceptional smooth flavor. Is it a malt liquor? It doesn't say that. I guess it's malt liquor. Malted barley and selected hops. This is a beer that is for the most educated of us. This 40 ounce isn't in the ghetto of the past. This 40 ounce is for the erudite of us. I don't know. They did newspeak on it. I guess they don't call it malt liquor. Malt liquor, nigga. They don't. I guess maybe on OE. Maybe they still do that on OE or something. Bump your cows, nigga. Alright, I don't know if they do that anymore, dude. Alright. Vaporwave mix, Dawn. Get the Dawn. Okay, we're not gonna do that. if you play this song, they're gonna hit you with a copyright for sure. Is it called chill wave mix or something? It's called chill wave or some shit. I think it's called. It's just called chill wave, dog. So where's the you got chill wave, synth wave. Oh my god. I think this was. Do they used to call it vaporwave? Yeah, vaporwave. It's like relax mix or what? I'm looking for some shit that's like really good. Oh, okay. Oh, ultimate mix is like 4.4 million down. So this is the shit that's gonna get wild, down. Yeah, this vaporwave chill is EGT media. 4.4 million views. Gonna be dope. Mount Liquor, Mardi Gras, Valentine, dawn. You ready for dawn? The dawn of the Donald Trump age is upon us. Make America 40 again, yo. Yeah, that's good. I mean, the beat sounds tight. You know, I mean, I'm not hating on the beat. I mean, I love it. You know what I'm saying? We those karaokeers, no? Get that Mardi Gras. Yeah, you ready for it? Yeah. This is chopped and screwed. This is a Diana Ross song from the disco era. It's Vaporwave by Macintosh. So it's stopped. It's slowed down to make it vapor. It's pretty cool though. I'm not a Diana Ross fan. Diana Ross was in the Epstein files. This is on the plane with Michael Jackson and Epstein. I know you saw it, but it makes me sad to see that. Right? I mean, I guess this rich people trust other rich people. They're like, hey, I'm rich. Well, that guy's rich. Well, let's hang out. You know? I don't know if that's the case, but I hope it's not a cult, satanic worship cult or something. That's more scary. Satan can't give me power. Only God gives me power. Limitless. Mama, time is running out. Your mood can't go on. Understand that it's all in your hands. If these people are members of a Luciferian cult, they are damned to hell. I'd rather die poor like Jesus Christ than experience the hell they're going to experience when they're dead. I'd rather die a pauper than a prince, because a pauper goes to heaven. Some say no. Some say no. Some say no. Don't say no. Some say no. Some say no. Some say no. Say no. Is it right there? Don't let it out. Don't let it go. This is Macintosh 420. The original song is Diana Ross. Unfortunately, she was with Michael Jackson on a Epstein airplane. Very tragic to see her. You know, maybe some of these rich and powerful people, they didn't know how evil this guy was. They were accidentally there. Been up, all trying, sell you things that you ain't buying. Living up, all trying to sell you things that you ain't buying. Ooh. My mind, time is running out. You understand this is all in your hands. Understand that it's all in your hands. Okay, we got the foamage. We got the beer, the German beer boot, and we also have the mason jar foamage from the brewski. So you're ready for the next level of vaporweight. This one's out of Austin, Texas, one of my favorite places. One of our sister cities here in Houston. One of our brethren. This is the Moscow. This is the St. Petersburg to Moscow, Austin, Texas. Laser Hawk. Star Hustler. So give some love tonight to your Texas sister cities. Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Lubbock, etc., El Paso. Give it up tonight. Laser Hawk from Austin. Hello. Star Hustler. There you go, Don. Was that the Jamalicious? Yeah. Yeah. All right. What was... Well, there's those that are... I guess I've always been more interested in the power of the spirit or the power of the human mind. The power of the human heart. I've never really been interested in power itself as something to propel my life or sustain my life, you know. So I know many people just kind of live off this money and power thing. I've never really cared about that. I only cared about the power of my spirit, the power of my heart, the power of my mind. These are things that concern me. So now I know there's channels out there that say a real man would care about this power of his wallet or the power of his money. Andrew Tate and so on, and many people. But really, financial men fail all the time. They listened to Gordon Gekko and Wall Street, and they failed. They've done bad investments. They failed. In most occasions, they've all failed because they just went along with the herd, and they did what everybody told them to do. Most men are like monkey see, monkey do. They say, oh, I saw one monkey do one thing, it worked out. So I gotta try. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to do the same thing. Men are not complex creatures. Maybe women are, but men aren't. Men just want peace. Men just want order. Men just want a structure. Men just want a framework. That's all men has. That's all men have always wanted: a challenge to evolve the framework. And so, men are not complicated. They want a challenge where they can build a framework. That's it. And so, men have a very simple yet complex structure. The framework is complicated, but men aren't. They've wanted the same thing for all time. So I said long ago that I didn't vote for Donald John Trump twice because I thought he was going to make me rich. Trump was going to be an embodiment of American ideals. Trump was going to fight for the American people. Donald John Trump, was going to, even though part of the elite, the bourgeoisie, and the silver spoon baby, he never had to slave away at a Home Depot for $8 an hour. That's the truth. Trump never had to live like us little people. He never had to work at McDonald's, even though he famously pretended that he did for a day. And he had a dump truck and he had PR. He never really had to do it. He did that to get votes, like all politicians do. But I don't fault politicians for trying to get votes. But I saw something under Democrat rule. Biden, before that, Obama. But definitely during the Biden-Harris years, I saw something. And it horrified me. I'd never seen this in my life. I'd never seen this horror in my entire life. I went to a local gas station and I saw for the first time in Texas, a state that's noted for its petroleum and energy reserves. I saw something epically wrong with America under Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I saw $4 and $5 and $6 a gallon gas. I couldn't actually believe what I was seeing. I'd never seen that before. I saw on the chart of the gas $4.15 a gallon or more. And in California, it was worse. I said, we can't survive under this economic hardship, under the Democrat Party. We just can't. All right. So I saw the tyranny of the Democrat Party face to face. All Americans did. And I saw the $4.15 gas, the $5 gas, the $6 gas, the $7 gas. And Trump said in the 2020 re-election campaign, if you vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, you're going to get $7 a gallon fucking gas. And that's just not economically viable. That's not something that Americans could pay. That's not something they could get by with. That is a fucking travesty. And so, the horror. The horror of it. The horror of the Democrat Party being in control of the U.S. government was too much to bear for many American people. And the middle class lost ground. The middle class lost so much money under a Democrat leadership that they can almost never recover. They probably won't even, they may never recover, some of us. Some of our families may never recover from the damage that the Democrat Party elite did to us. And there's no way they're going to be able to get away with this ad infinitum forever. And so I voted. I went to the polls and I voted for Donald Trump again for the second or third time. Not because I believe that a silver spoon baby gives a shit about me, a poor white working class guy, but because the alternative is total and complete economic ruin and oblivion of the Joe Biden Harris administration. So when you've seen gas prices and 9% inflation that you had never ever seen before, then it's time for a change, and a permanent change, and a change that's going to last for a long time. I know the Democrats tried to blame COVID on it, COVID-19 plague, but they could have done more to help ease the economic burden on Americans, but they didn't. They just went to fucking town, raiding the coffers like in ancient Rome. That the senators raided the coffers in ancient Rome and screwed over the people, just like a time memorial. They just went to hog heaven, drunk with power, drunk with righteousness. They screwed over, they betrayed the American dream, they betrayed the American essence to enrich themselves. And the middle class was destroyed in this process. The working class maimed beyond recognition. The middle class was drained of its savings, of its life's toils. My parents paid that burden of people voting for Biden and Harris. And even in the liberal, mostly liberal controlled city of Houston, Texas, still, in the election 2024, still, assholes voted for Kamala Harris. At least 50% plus against the 49.5% that voted for Trump, like me. And they still try to screw us. So most midterm elections, the incumbent party would face heavy losses in the Congress and control of the legislative branch, the U.S. House of Representatives, and the U.S. Senate. But I don't believe they're going to get away with that easily this time. So I think the middle class was so hurt under Democrat rule last time that voters will remember how badly they were hurt. They're going to vote against the Democrat Party because they have totally sold us out to the liberal global world order. They have betrayed us to George Soros and his minions and his satanic Epstein, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates worshiping minions. So the American dream died. Maybe it was like George Carlin said 40 to 50 years ago. Maybe it was when the US dollar was taken off the gold standard in 1972. Maybe it was when Bill Clinton signed the NAFTA agreement to outsource manufacturing, American manufacturing, out to India and China. Maybe America died at those times as well and gutted out the Midwest and our brethren in Minnesota and Michigan and in the Rust Belt, Illinois, and so on. Now, as a Texan, a lifelong Texan, and lover of Texas and all things Texas, I still love every member of the United States of America. And I feel sorry for when leftist politicians, Democrats, sell out America for the sake of Chinese manufacturing, for the sake of foreign manufacturing, Indians and Chinese. I feel sorry for my brethren that used to be the heart. The Rust Belt used to be the heart of American manufacturing. Pennsylvania, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota. This used to be our heart, our industrial manufacturing heart. And slowly but surely, Democrats and the Democrat Party have sold our industrial and manufacturing strength out to Indians and Chinese and foreigners. This cannot go forward. Not in a country as powerful as this, not in a country, not in a nation with so many resources vast as ours. This cannot go forward, and it will not go forward. American people will not tolerate a lowered standard of living that keeps on going down year after year while rich fat cats line their pockets in our poverty. There is no way that is going to fucking continue. So, I had seen $2 gas. I thought it was high during the Bush years. In the late 90s, when I was in my teens, I got, for the first time, paying for gas and working jobs. And I went to a gas station and I paid 79 cents a gallon. And then by 2000 or 2005, I was paying $2 a gallon. I thought that was too much then. I knew I was under a corrupt regime when the gas prices said $4.15 a gallon. There is no way that you have leadership that cares about Americans and American citizens if you see $4 a gallon, $5 a gallon, $6 a gallon, $7 a gallon, maybe $8 a gallon in California. There is no way that American citizens can really look at the numbers and vote for Democrats when the energy prices are so high and the inflation of the Biden inflation went to 9% by at least 2022, and expect most Americans to vote for Democrats in the 2026 election. There is no way. There is no fucking way in hell that I envision that most Americans are going to do this shit. And there's the issue of the jab, the COVID jab. When the COVID-19 hit, suspiciously a year before a major presidential election, the pharmaceutical industry and the Democrats said, get the jab. Get the COVID jab. How many of us actually got that jab? Now, if I had a certain employment, would they have made me get the jab? And maybe they said, well, if you don't get the jab, you're going to get fired. Okay. Maybe some in the military, maybe some in certain corporations, they said, you know what, if you don't get the jab, if you don't take the mark of the beast, then we're going to kick you out. Most of my family said, no, we're not going to take this fucking jab. We're not going to take this potion. We don't even know what's in it. We're not just going to do what you say because you say it. All right, because we don't think that. We're not going to do that. Yeah. It's like if your mom or dad said, hey, do this, aren't you going to think about it? If your mom or dad or any authority in your life, your priest say, do this, aren't you going to think about it first? That's the thing. That's critical thinking skills. And so a lot of people said, you know what? It wasn't just pure rebellion, just rebelling for no reason why people didn't take the COVID shot. I didn't take it because now my parents had a healthcare company and they had to take it with their insurance. They took it. They took multiple jabs. They took multiple. I didn't take it, and neither did my aunt or uncle because we didn't think it was right. Yeah, I got COVID-19. So what's the coronavirus symptoms? Well, it's, I'll tell you what it is. Here's the coronavirus symptom. It should be mostly enjoyed. Bloody diarrhea. Bloody diarrhea. So this from Wuhan Virology Institute, this bioterrorism plague that the Chinese Communist Party unleashed upon the world, you get endless bloody diarrhea. I know most people that voted for the Democrats wanted endless bloody diarrhea. So you're on the shit, so your diarrhea is constant and it's bloody. And diarrhea is constant diarrhea. And that's the COVID-19 experience. It's a coronavirus severe acute respiratory syndrome from Wuhan Virology Institute, from the Chinese Communist Party, from the People's Republic of China. This is the endless diarrhea. Okay, so this is COVID-19. Endless shits of diarrhea. But everybody loves that. But that's not all. You get a high fever. All right, you get chills and shakes. You fall on your ass like a fucking stroke patient. That's great. So not only do you shit constantly with diarrhea, yeah. So here's the COVID-19 experience. You shit and shit diarrhea, and then you get fever and headaches, and you fall on your ass. It's really a fantastic experience. Then you're so crippled by the Chinese virus, they can't fucking move. And just to add wonder to injury, you can't fucking move. Not only do you have endless shits and high fever, but you can't move. Yay! You can't fucking move. It's fantastic, this Chinese plague. It's so beautiful. It's just so wonderfully constructed by the Wuhan Virology Institute. It's just like, I'm so glad they were doing gain of function research with the bats, because now they know how to destroy us perfectly. Then the World Health Organization, the CDC, the government tells you to stay in place for 14 days. Then you can't get out for 14 days because you're shitting your pants, you have fucking endless diarrhea, and your muscles are aching. Then you go into a black fog of death for days and days, and you're sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. And you keep taking medicine, but you're not getting any better. Because the shit's just hijacking your fucking immune system. So then, you're trying to stay out of the black fog. So you're in this black fog of death for days. You don't know if you're going to get out. And you're in this black death fog brain, this COVID, this virus brain, and you can't get out. It's like fucking... Then you're in there trying to get out. You keep sleeping. You're in the black death. There's no way you're getting out. Finally, if you can survive it, you wake up. Like, oh shit, what was that? I've been in the bed for like 3, 4, or 5 days. What the fuck was that? And you don't have to be hospitalized because you're too strong to be defeated by the COVID-19 plague. So finally, with enough medicine and shit, you take enough seltzer, you take enough, Alka-Seltzer, you take enough pills, you take enough stuff, and then finally you're out. And you're like, what the hell? I've lost like 10 days of my life. And finally you're out, but you're like, oh my God, I wish I had that whole entire, 20 days back or whatever it was. And that 5 day of death, yeah. Well, I was in a black fog of death. I wish I could have that back, but the Chinese Communist Party isn't giving my 20 days or 10 days of black death back, so what am I going to do? Well, since I had 10 days of black death, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. Not because a billionaire is going to make me rich, but because he'll attack China. That's good. And he's not attacking China directly yet to war. He's taken over Venezuela, their energy resources. He's taken over, he's going to destroy the Islamic Republic of Iran. The reason why I voted for Donald Trump is that I knew he was going to do all that. I knew that Donald Trump was going to know that the Venezuelans had discovered incredible energy reserves in Guyana. Yeah. I didn't vote for Donald Trump because I thought he was going to make me rich. Yeah. Well, that's a good counterpoints. I'm glad you said that. But the problem is, it's not that Trump didn't say he was going to try to get America out of conflict. The problem is that our enemies want conflict. So it's not that Donald Trump doesn't want to get us out of conflict. It's just that the Chinese Communist Party and the People's Republic of China want to destroy America. It's not that Trump... Okay, if there wasn't countries out there that wanted to destroy America, then that would be okay. It would be cool. It'd be like, peace, man, peace, man, peace. It would be cool if peace, brother, peace. If all the countries in the world, all the powerful countries said Russian Federation or the North Koreans or Iran. All right. If the Chinese said, hey, we want peace. Well, that would be easy. Well, they don't want peace, do they? Yeah, that would be easy in that case. Knowing that Trump was going to get us out of conflict and an existential war against the Chinese. The war against the Chinese Communist Party, the war against socialism and communism, that's not going to be solved overnight. That's ideological, that's a spiritual war. That's not going to no, that's not going to be. There's some things that are not going to be dealt with except with war and violence. And so the deal is Donald Trump's going to get us out of conflict by confronting those that want conflict with the United States. So that's how he avoids conflict, by confronting those that want conflict. But well, I mean, Diana Ross and Michael Jackson are in the Epstein files too. You know, so is Chris Tucker. So is Bill Gates and Bill Clinton. They're all in the Epstein files. A lot of rich and powerful people. No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying that a lot of people are entangled in Epstein. I don't know why this one guy is so powerful. I have no idea why this guy is so powerful. No, I mean, he's not criminally charged with any crime. So unless you have a picture or a video of him screwing underage girls, then I don't see there. I mean, they have Bill Clinton with girls in the hot tubs, and Bill Gates hanging out with Epstein, but no one's talking about that. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't. He's in the a million times. Well, apparently this is how it goes. So there's a lot of rich and powerful people in the Epstein files. I don't know why this one guy is so powerful. I have no idea. It doesn't seem particularly rich. So I think So it was insinuation is not proof. So the media has to say, because of the limits of freedom of speech, which are, they have to say ABC Disney, which hates Trump, NBC, CBS, CNN, MS Now, which was abandoned by NBC and Microsoft, Bill Gates. They have to say legally. They have to say legally. There's no criminal charges against Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, or Donald Trump. So they have to say that. They have to say that out loud, because otherwise they could be sued by such parties for libel or slander. So in the freedom of speech, there's Declan. Hey, what's up, brother? In the freedom of speech, so we have the freedom of speech and expression, except for terroristic threats, libel, and slander. So in the U.S. Constitution, we're allowed freedom of speech, except for slander. Slander is, if I'm like, slander, what does that mean, slander? Slander is if I say, slander is I say, Beth is a hoe, and Beth is not a hoe, and Beth sues me for slander. That's not protected under the U.S. Constitution. So then, libel, what is libel? Libel is libelous. Libel is you're responsible for it. So if I say, fuck Bill Gates, and Bill Gates gets killed, or some defamatory thing against Bill Gates, and Bill Gates gets stabbed in his neck to death, then I'm liable. Yeah, Jews. Yeah, right. So libel and slander. Okay, if I'm like, Jews suck, Jews, blah, 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 something negative, and people go kill Jews, then I'm responsible, because that's libel. There's libel. Slander is when you say a falsehood about somebody and it's not true. If I'm like, Rebecca's a hooker, and with the Jews, oh, okay, I'm not really anti-Jew. People think I'm anti-Semitic. I don't know about that. But in the American democracy of the First Amendment speech, terroristic threats are pretty interesting. Terroristic threats are, threats. And so I'm not going to say those, what it is. Yeah. So it's America for Americans, indeed. So there's, and in the U.S. Constitution of the speech, the First Amendment rights are, you have almost total protection for anything you say, except for terroristic threats, libel, slander. I think that covers it. So people have, in the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, the right to assemble, the right to a religion, the right to petition the government, and the right to a free press. The 5 fundamental core of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution of the United States of America. That's good, but there's caveats to the freedom of expression and speech. You can't call for violence. Libel. Libel is a weird one because it means you're liable for your speech to cause some damaging event. So libel is if the Democrats say fuck ICE and the federal government and and those in Minnesota fight the federal government and the feds and they cause damage, then they're liable for their speech. Whoever politician, that's a violation that causes violence. So it's any speech that causes violence is yeah. The right to religion. The freedom of religion is also the right to worship any God you want or not. So you can be an atheist or believe in the 5 core religions of the earth, which are Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, or Buddhism. Now, the freedom of the press was meant to protect the people against powerful people. Do I believe that America is a Christian country? Well, America, yes, I would say in general, yes. But the freedom of religion, it means any religion. So it could be Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, or Buddhism, or beyond. Yeah, it's Jesus only. Yeah. But the freedom of religion means that people have exercise to worship any religion they want to. Islam and Judaism don't believe in Jesus. Yeah. I thought Judaism they don't believe in Jesus? I thought Judaism, they believe in Jesus. They don't believe in Jesus Christ? Really? Jesus Christ forever. Amen. Okay. Yeah. Of the Islam, they don't believe that Jesus was the savior of man. That he's just a prophet in Islam. Yeah, I mean, I've heard about that. Yeah. My idea of religion is show it then. Okay. Islam respects Jesus more than Judaism. Oh, I didn't know. I thought Judaism would be the heart of Jesus, since Jesus was a Jew. I thought Jesus Christ was the king of the Jews. So how could Judaism not respect him that much? That's very interesting. All right. I'm no expert on Judaism or Islam. I was born in Christian faith or denominations. So Well, I was born in Jehovah's Witnesses, which were besides Christianity, Jehovah's Witnesses were an offshoot of Christianity, and they did not believe in Jesus was the Lord and Savior. So what happened was they believe in Jehovah. It's Jehovah worship, God worship, Old Testament worship. So that particular branch of belief was steeped in Jehovah. So that's why when Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade, when he has to cross the faith belief with Jehovah, I really felt that as a kid because I grew up in that particular denomination about Jehovah, that the name of God is Jehovah. So I grew up in the Word of God in the Old Testament sense, but it doesn't mean that I forgot about the New Testament and Jesus Christ, the birth of Jesus. It's just I grew up in the Old Testament, many Old Testament stories. So, to be honest, just to be candid about where I came from, my family was they hated Jehovah's Witnesses, and they hated it because they couldn't celebrate Christmas and so on. And I hated it kind of too, but I respected the worship of Jehovah, which is the holy God. So I didn't hate them, but I'm not gonna believe in half the Bible and think the second part. Yeah. Being under Jehovah's Witnesses, you're not allowed to celebrate Christmas or holidays or birthdays. And so my family was really pissed, and I was pissed as a kid as well. So how many Christmases was I denied as a kid because my stepfather was Jehovah's Witness? Probably too many. My family was none too happy because they're Christian. They want to celebrate Christmas. And so it was, that's a main conflict between Jehovah's Witness. The Jehovah's Witnesses believe that Oli and Jehovah, the main God in the Old Testament, and so I was kind of torn because they wouldn't celebrate New Testament stuff. So it was like kind of a fractured view of the Bible, and I didn't like it, and most people didn't. They were pissed, and so that's why the Jehovah's Witnesses order doesn't survive, is because it does not respect the entire Bible. And so that's why I'm pissed about it too. But I'm not going to make a anti-Jehovah's Witnesses channel. But, the Bible should be a complete worship. It should not be just sliced up in halves or quarters, So I was really pissed at my family like it was. So if you're going to have a Bible, a total complete belief system, you need to believe in the whole thing. Whether it's the Quran or the Torah, or you're going to believe in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Talmud. You need to believe in the whole thing. It can't be sliced up. So most Christians would reject that the gospel would be sliced up, that the whole word would be diced up like that. I said, oh, fucking hell no. Most of my family said, fuck that. And so my Jehovah's Witnesses stepdad was dying of cancer, and he was praying to God when he was dying, his face turning green, and he's like, God, save me. And he's dying real bad. And I was like, man, you can't, you, you can't break up the Bible, you can't break up denominations, the Christians, between the New Testament and the Old Testament. There's no way. It's like breaking up the Lord of the Rings. You can't break up book 1 and book 2 and book. It's like you can't break up Harry Potter with 1, 2, and 3. You can't break up religious sects. I mean, it's just ridiculous, bro. And it's stupid to break up the Gospels or the Upanishads or I mean, you can't break. I mean, people don't break up the Quran that are Islam. Don't break it up into 5 sections. I mean, you got to read the whole thing, dude. I mean, it's the whole religion is the whole history. The whole religion is the Old Testament and the New Testament. There is no fucking denominations of every section of the fucking Bible. It's one work. It's one gospel, period. There is no religion that's going to survive that breaks up every single part of the Old Testament and New Testament and just picks and chooses. You have to choose the entire thing of Old Testament, New Testament, the entire history of the Bible, the entire history of man. You can't break it up into fucking slices. And that's what they were trying to do with me. My family wasn't feeling it. Nobody was feeling it. It was just, you know, it was just horrible. You know, I'm not going to do an anti-Jehovah Witness channel, but that was bullshit. And everybody knows that. So, Old Testament. Yeah. Old Testament. Old Testament, the Bible of the God, of the Christian God, of the mankind God. And then the New Testament of Jesus Christ. Fight against the Romans and Egyptians and redemption. That is the core of Christianity. That is what it is. Now, I've been to Sunday school with the Old Testament. It's fine. I love it. I don't hate the Old Testament. I don't hate the teachings. I never did as a kid. I loved it. But the Bible has to be complete. Yeah. So I don't hate Jehovah worshipers. I know where they come from. I was a Elohim worshiper. I'm a Jehovah believer. That one of God's, but Jehovah is just one of God's names. And I'm not going to say that it ends with his name. His name goes forward with his son, Jesus Christ. That's in the New Testament. And I'm not going to stop there because it doesn't end there. I'm going to end it at, I'm not going to end the Lord of the Rings at chapter 2. The chapter goes on. The chapter of the Lord of the Rings is the first one, the Fellowship of the Ring. And then it goes to the Two Towers, and then it goes to the Return of the King. So I'm not going to disturb the chapters by not acknowledging the next chapters. The next chapters are there. They're real. They're real gospels. They're real. I don't end the Lord of the Rings at the Fellowship or, the attack on Rivendell by the Dark Soldiers. I don't do that. that's not, I'm not going to make a religion off of, it's my favorite character in Lord of the Rings. Besides Frodo, besides the protagonist, Frodo Baggins, I guess everyone's favorite is Aragorn. Oh, the Hobbit. Yeah, the Hobbit. Yeah, the Hobbit. I guess everyone loves Bilbo or Frodo. Yeah. I think everybody loves Aragorn because he's like the underdog. Or Gandalf. Yeah, I like Gandalf. He's pretty powerful. I kind of like Aragorn. I love Aragorn because he's like, the reason why I love Aragorn, because he's a flawed character and he's kind of going wayward against his destiny. My favorite is Aragorn. Yeah. Aragorn has to face that. Aragorn has to face his destiny. I always love that about the character, is that he's running away from it, but he has to face it. I always love the character that most people love in The Lord of the Rings is Aragorn, because he's the flawed son. And I think that's the favorite character. I think most people love Aragorn, is he's the most flawed. And some people might say it's Gandalf or Frodo. I think one of the greatest characters is Aragorn. Because his journey is, he's a king who doesn't want to be king. So he doesn't want responsibility, but he has to have it. I think Aragorn is the flawed character. And I think it's the character everybody loves in The Lord of the Rings, because his journey is so epic. So Aragorn, son of Arathorn, is the most epic character in The Lord of the Rings, because he is the man who is trying to avoid being king. But he's the man best poised to be king, and he has to be king for the realm to survive and prosper. So I think that is the greatest character, because he's trying to shirk his responsibilities of being king, but the world needs him to be the king, and he can't stop his responsibility. I think it's the best character. Yeah. Now, that's not to say that he's weak. He just doesn't want to accept his responsibility as king. His birthright to be king of the land. Like, he knows he has to fight for his kingdom to survive, but also he kind of wants to wander around in the woods and play around. And Aragorn wants to he's the heir to the throne of Gondor, the king, but he doesn't want to accept that he is who he is. And so I always like that Aragorn is struggling, between being nothing and being somebody important and powerful. And that he doesn't seek fame or power or glory, but he must do it to save his land. I always love that part about Aragorn. That's why I think he's the best character in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, my friend one day, he was like, Wayne, he said, you want to read some great shit? Here's J.R.R. Tolkien. He said, read this, The Hobbit. And I read The Hobbit, and then before the Peter Jackson trilogy came out, and he goes, read this. the Lord of the Rings, and I read the whole thing. Since it had a lot of woods and stuff where I grew up in Texas, I went to a creek. I went out to the forest. I read this every day. When I was 20, I read the Lord of the Rings. Religiously, I was out there in the forest by the creek. And I just kind of immersed myself in the Lord of the Rings. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I went out to the Texas Creek by the forest, farted. Nice. It's good. Yeah, I went out there and I was kind of just reading the Lord of the Rings. I'd read Hemingway. I read Ernest Hemingway, Farewell to Arms. And, but in my house, in a chair. But when I read Lord of the Rings going out to the forest, I was like, oh shit, this is amazing. It was before the Lord of the Rings came out, and then I got the pen from the movie theater I worked at, which was Frodo, Lord of the Rings is coming in 2001 and stuff, so I still have it, and so. So I got this, the movie theater. A spray. One ring to rule them all. Frodo, coming December 2001. I got that one. So I kept it in my pouch. So I got the Frodo. One ring to rule them all. So I kept this because it was important. Yeah. And so I just kept that. I kept that in the pouch. Yeah. One ring to rule them all. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know about the replicas or whatever. Yeah. But, yeah. Was I a Lord of the Rings fan? Well, before Peter Jackson. Yeah, are we going to pray? Let's pray. For the might of the Jesus Christ. Or you start it. Let's go. You want me to close my eyes for the prayer? I'll pray it too. Good? I see what the text is, though. Let's pray. All right, we'll close our eyes if we're supposed to, and amen. And holy brother. All right. Oh, is it a long prayer? All right. My stepdad believes in prayer healing, that people can be blind and be healed by Jesus. Do I believe in prayer healing? Why not? Thank you. God, amen. Lift up, sorry. Amen. Amen. As a kid, I believed in Sunday school and Jesus Christ and God. I think I still do, even though that's my original teachings. The faith I have, the faith you have is not compromised, you know. So I think we're undeterred by failure. I think we always believe that Jesus Christ and God has a plan for us, and the plan will be fulfilled, God willing, amen. And this is truth of the Lord Jesus Christ, God. So, thank you. Are people more scared now in their faith because there's robots and AI and things like that dominating, overwhelming the earth? You know, are people? AI is the mark of the beast. Yes, of course. AI is the mark of the beast. And AI is, by its nature, antichrist. AI means antichrist. Literally. It's easy to see what it is. AI is antichrist. Of course, that's what it is. An infection that is worse than drugs or alcohol. It's a drug that's worse than any drug. It's AI, it's Antichrist. You're right. That is the worst Antichrist. AI is the mark of the beast. It is the enslavement of the children of the world. AI is the mark of the beast. You're right. AI is Antichrist. Inspired by Christ.
This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he sent. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
Yes.
Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom.
Divination of Christ.
Seek the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added to you. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Walk while you have the light, before darkness overtakes you. Whoever walks in the dark does not know where they are going. Believe in the light while you have the light, so that you may become children of light. Have faith in God. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God. Believe also in me. As you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. Go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. If you love me, keep my commandments.